some games just have the sort of table presence that's just bound to draw a crowd. The twisting, turning dexterity phenomenon, known as Tokyo Highway, is a great example of this in action. Pop open this box in a public place, and within minutes, you'll draw a crowd of onlookers just waiting to witness a beautiful disaster. Tokyo Highway is a competitive dexterity game of tangled highways and overpasses. Build overpasses and underpasses to place all of your cars before your opponents do, and you just might make it to work on time. So, strap in your seatbelts and ready those tweezers while we teach you how to play. To set up the game, have each player choose a color and distribute the pieces to each player according to this chart. For example, in a 4-player game, each player would collect 7 cars in their color, 20 gray columns, 2 yellow columns, and 12 roads. Starting with the player who has taken the highway most recently, and continuing clockwise around the table, each player will choose their starting location by placing 1 gray column, 1 road, and 1 car in their color onto the table. You'll connect roads to your highway from this first column. This first one can be anywhere, but each subsequent placement must be 1 road length away from the others, like so. Next, in reverse turn order, starting with the player who last placed their column, each player will place 1 building in an arbitrary location on the table. These will serve as obstacles for the players to avoid, and are not used in a 2-player game. The goal of the game is to build your highway using roads and columns, and place your cars by building above and below your opponent's roads. This is the entrance to your highway. There are many like it, but this one is yours. It will twist and turn and interweave with the others, but it will never connect to them. Each player has their own distinct, separated highway. The first player to place all of their cars wins. So if you get the gist, let's teach you how to take a turn. On your turn, you'll do 3 things. You'll place a column, place a road, and you'll place at least 1 car if you can. Your turn will continue placing roads and columns until you are able to place at least 1 car. When you build a column, you must build it to a height of exactly 1 taller or 1 shorter than the column you're coming from. So, for example, if you're building a road from here, your next column must be either 1 or 3 columns tall. There is one exception, however. These yellow columns are called junctions. At any point when building a column, you may use a junction to freely choose the height of that column. Junctions are very limited, so use them wisely. Once you've built a column, you will then build a road. When doing this, you may freely adjust the placement of the column. But there's a few things to keep in mind. The edges of the roads must rest upon the column tops. They may overlap or not. You may not place a road directly over a column. It may not touch other roads or columns, and you may never make an enclosure of roads. Each column may only have 1 road passing through it, essentially 2 popsicle sticks. Unless there's a junction there. Junctions can support 1 branching road. That would be a total of 3 popsicle sticks. Finally, if this road meets the qualifications, you may now place 1 or more cars anywhere along its length. In order to place a car on a road, you must either cross over an opponent's road with no other roads above it, or below an opponent's road with no other roads below it. When this happens, you may place 1 car onto your road for each road you've crossed. For example, this road qualifies for 2 cars because it crosses 2 opposing roads. As does this one above and one below. This one, surprisingly, only qualifies for 1 car because it only crosses 1 opposing road that doesn't have another road above it. Now, there is one more way to place a car, but it's sort of an endgame strategy. If you can safely ground a road to the table, you've created an exit. You can place 1 bonus car onto an exit road, and even place additional cars if you cross your opponent's roads, but you cannot build any additional roads from an exit ramp. So, this will have to be planned for the end of the game, or with the use of junctions. Now, if you drop your opponent's cars, pillars, or roads during the game, there's a penalty. You must offer to your opponent a number of pillars, gray or yellow, equal to the number of pieces you dropped. And play cannot continue until the highway has been repaired by the player responsible for the carnage. Yeah, that's you. There's no penalty for dropping your own pieces. Having to rebuild it is punishment enough. There are 2 ways the game can end. If one player places their last car onto a road, they immediately win the game. Or, if a player runs out of construction materials, other players will play their next turns in the hope that they might drop something and pay out columns. However, if your turn comes back around again and you still don't have any construction materials, you immediately lose and everyone else keeps playing. This continues like this until someone wins, or everyone but one player has run out of construction materials. If this happens, that player wins. And that's how to play Tokyo Highway. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We would love to hear from you. What's your favorite dexterity game? Post your answer in the comments below. And if you have any questions or feedback, we'll be sure to reply as soon as we're able. Tokyo Highway is one of hundreds of great games you can pick up for up to 30% off at greatoakstavern.com/shop. Click the link in the description for more information. Or just stop on by when you're in town to play this and over 600 other awesome games like it at Great Oaks Tavern.